Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. We're looking at Jeff's Super XL automatic. What? But it says XL-12. Ah, not an XL-12. A true XL-12. We'll do a quick history lesson here because this confuses a lot of guys. True XL-12 has an oil fill right down here, and it's manual oiler only. There was a Super XL-12 for about 2 or 3 years back in the 60s. It was blue, and it had the bigger piston and cylinder, but still had the oil fill down here. There was a Super XL that was just labeled a Super XL, no automatic, that had the oil tank up here, but it was still manual oiler only. Those are very uncommon. You can sell those by the aluminum plug. Alright, I should stop saying that they're very uncommon. You see them on eBay, way more than you see a 2100S, so I shouldn't say that. They're not very common. But that aluminum staked in plug that's back here is how you tell that it's not an automatic oiler saw, because that is your automatic oiler pickup. So even though this has an XL-12 starter housing and the patina of the paint all matches, this is a Super XL automatic because it has that oil fill up here and it has this pickup tube. So anyway, back to the point of the video. Jeff sent me this saw so that I could eliminate the ignition module, the aftermarket module. There was one of those gray atom chips that was screwed right up here. And he said it would quit when it got hot. I'm not 100% convinced it was just, well, I know it wasn't just the chip that was the problem. Because I got this thing opened up, got in there, and the old points and condenser, Weco setup, were still in there. But when I initially cleaned the points, I still didn't have spark. Nothing. And I went ahead, I tested the condenser, and I knew it was a little out of range. It had a little more impedance than it was supposed to have. I think I'm saying that right, because you're not measuring true ohms through it. You've got to have a multimeter to properly test a condenser's capacitance. You've got to be able to, your meter needs to have a setting like that, right there. And again, my terminology isn't the greatest on that. I don't do it enough to remember it, but I knew the capacitor condenser was a little bit out of range, but it still should have sparked. So I replaced the coil, and then it started sparking. Now, using my tester with the 1/4 inch gap jump, I would say it was firing on this about every 5th or 6th revolution, as opposed to every single time over, and you had to get some good RPM up, and that's where I went, alright, that damn condenser's gonna have to be replaced. So, once I did that, had blue spark at very low RPM every single time. So, I haven't run it yet. It was a good runner other than that, from what I understood. So I've just put some fuel in this bad boy, and let's see what she does. I'm pretty happy with that. For a dry system, 8 or 9 pulls is not bad. Oh yeah, and the oil cap gasket. Yes, that was not the correct gasket, so that's been replaced also, Jeff. So, anyway, folks. Yeah, gone through everything. This was a great saw to demonstrate that parts and pieces between an XL-12 and a Super XL, a lot of them do mix and match. But remember, if you don't have an oil fill up here, and it's back there, it's an XL-12. If it's up here, it's going to be a Super XL of some sort. Most likely, a Super XL automatic. If you have a fitting that'll unthread here, Super XL automatic. Anyway, Jeff, I'm going to get this thing drained and aired out so that early next week we can get this thing heading your way.